What's up, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and let's talk about Nintendo. More specifically, early 2015 Nintendo, who's been making this series of baffling decisions that even has longtime fans shaking their heads. And where do I even start? So right off the bat, there isn't going to be any video examples or text or image examples of anything that Nintendo is currently doing because of what they are doing with their Nintendo Creators Program, which I will get to in just a minute. But let's start at the beginning. I am a longtime Nintendo fan, as most people my age who grew up on video games would be. I can vividly remember when I was 7 or 8 years old, only having played Atari 2600, only having played some old PC games, and not really caring too much about video games, walking into a friend of mine's house, who lived down the street, and seeing the original Super Mario Brothers being played, and just my little mind exploding. And that, just turned into a lifelong love of video games. So certainly I have owned just about every system they've put out since the NES. I didn't have the Virtual Boy, but fucking who did? And they're great. They put out consistently the best games on the marketplace, period. However, they do have a history of making some pretty insane business decisions, sometimes for the best, sometimes for the worst, and I know that Nintendo of America is totally hamstrung by Nintendo of Japan. I understand that conceptually, but it still seems kind of crazy. So as a lot of you know, Club Nintendo is shutting down for good. That was their loyalty program they had, where if you bought games, you got a little code, and you put the code in the website, and you could use those coins to get free stuff. The problem being, Nintendo of America, the free stuff was never that good. All we ever seemed to get were scraps and leftovers from Japan or Europe, who got much better stuff. It never seemed like they cared that much here about the program, and realistically, the stuff that you wanted to get, you could just go on eBay and get for way less than what it cost you to get the games if you weren't going to buy those games in the first place. It was always kind of a little stupid. And they did say it's getting replaced with something else. But what is that something else? We have no idea. And we probably won't have any idea until at least E3. And that's kind of insane to spin down your current program and not have any announcement about your future program. So in the meantime, everyone who's going to be buying the new 3DS or any new games between now and then, any kind of loyalty there, you get nothing. So, what is the point of even, why don't you just wait until they announce something and then buy their stuff? Why buy it right now? That's kind of stupid. But speaking of the new 3DS, I'm just sitting here shaking my head that they're actually calling it the new 3DS in North America. I understand why you would do it in Japan, but I don't understand why you would keep that name here. You've already had so much marketplace brand confusion in the past couple of years between the DS, the 3DS, the Wii U, which a lot of people still think is an add-on for the Wii because you didn't differentiate it enough in the marketplace with the name. Call it the Super Wii, call it the Wii Plus, call it the Wii 2 for Christ's sake. Calling it the Wii U just did a disservice to what that system actually is, and you wonder why you're currently in third place in the console war. But that's not the only fucked up part of the new 3DS, name aside. North America is the only market right now that is not getting the regular sized new 3DS. We're only getting the XL, and that's it. Now, I'm recording this February 6th, 2015. That could change come E3, but that new 3DS is out next week, and we're only getting the big one, and our two regular choices in colors are black and red. And that, to me, screams focus testing. It's like, oh, the Americans have such big hands, and they only like edgy colors like black and red. Had you put out a white one, I would have bought a white one. And sure, there were two more options. The Majora's Mask Gold sold out. The Monster Hunter 4 Silver sold out. So realistically, if you weren't online when those went on sale for pre-orders, you aren't getting one at retail price. Your options are black and red. And honestly, that's annoying because the smaller one uses the faceplates. So even if you didn't like the black or red, you get the black, you get faceplates. There's no option for North America for faceplates because the small one is the only one that supports the faceplate. So you can't even import because the system's not region free. So it's like, what the fuck? It always seems to be one step forward, two steps back. I'm glad we're actually getting this new 3DS, but how come we're the only region who's not getting the regular size one and only the XL? Now hopefully that could change. Hopefully there's enough fervor for it that they'll say, okay, we were supply constrained, we'll get you that, it'll happen, just not right away. But anyone who is itching to buy that new 3DS and is going to buy one is probably going to buy one next week when it comes out in North America. But if all of that didn't seem incredibly tone-deaf enough to the current marketplace conditions for video games in North America, the Nintendo Creators Program certainly did. Now, what this is an opportunity for anybody on YouTube to say, hey, I want to use Nintendo game footage, I want to talk about Nintendo games, I want to do Let's Plays, I want to do commentary, I want to do reviews, and I don't want them to get content ID'd or a copyright strike, God forbid, and I want to make money off of them and monetize and continue to use that on my channel. So, you have two options. You can do them on a video by video basis, which is a 60-40 split, which you get 60, and that's after YouTube gets their cut. You get 60 and they get 40. Or, if you are a hardcore Nintendo fanboy and want to have your whole channel be just Nintendo games, it is a 70-30 split. Now, never mind that Nintendo essentially becoming a multi-channel network is kind of fucked up. The fact that they're trying to encourage you to only cover Nintendo games while still getting that split of the money, like, what are you even doing? I understand that you want to protect your IP. I understand it is well within your right to want to protect your IP. But here is the problem. When you have to submit individual videos to get approved by Nintendo, that could potentially silence anyone who making critical videos about what Nintendo is doing. Obviously, this video, they can't do shit about because there's no Nintendo properties in this video. I'm wearing a Jurassic Park shirt, I'm in my room, fuck you. But had this been a critical review on current Nintendo policies and I had to send that off for approval and they said, no, you can't be doing that, that's fucked up. Now, playing devil's advocate, this is still in beta. There's no possible way they could actually review every single video someone is submitting for every single word that person is saying in their video, but the potential of it being there looks wrong. So you might say reviews are considered fair use on YouTube. The critical process is considered fair use on YouTube, and to that I say you obviously have not ever been uploading videos on YouTube. The Content ID robot does not give a shit. If it matches up to audio or video, you're getting flagged, you can't monetize. And yeah, boo-hoo, can't make any money off of talking over video games, go get a real job, ha ha ha, whatever. But the implication that other publishers could pick up a similar program and then all critical videos on YouTube that are saying, hey, this game is fucking broken, looking at you, Assassin's Creed Unity, you would have an industry that is out of touch and greedy trying to silence any critical opinions to make their piece of shit broken games sell better. Now, obviously, Nintendo, 9 times out of 10, is releasing incredible video games, and I can understand why people who are fans of Nintendo are going to give them a pass on this, but I'm not. So here's the deal. I cover 3 to 5 Wii U games a year. I will continue to cover those 3 to 5 Wii U games a year worth playing, and if they get flagged by Content ID, oh well, I'll still run the video, it doesn't matter, I'm not going to lose that much money. But you're not going to see any Let's Plays of Nintendo content on this channel, you're not going to see any extensive coverage of any games from Nintendo on this channel. It is just not worth the hassle, it is just not worth the red tape, and it is just not worth the headache. What Nintendo fails to understand, that a lot of other publishers have come to understand, is that the amount of exposure you get from people like me on YouTube is not worth fighting for the pennies we are earning on those videos. It's not worth the trouble. I am 100% for content holders trying to protect their intellectual properties. This is just a half-assed compromise that makes nobody happy and just pisses people off, and there's going to be less coverage of games from Nintendo on YouTube because it is not worth dealing with the hassle. And that's a shame because in 2015, Nintendo needs all the additional positive exposure they could possibly get. They're in 3rd place right now with the Wii U. And that's basically all I have to say about that. So hopefully E3, things will turn around a little bit for Nintendo. Hopefully somebody at NOA is paying attention, but I know that they are hamstrung by Nintendo of Japan, who are a very traditional, very stubborn company, and the chances of they're going to actually ever change anything for the better is probably not going to happen. So as always, I am your host, Attack Slug. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on this channel.